Harihi, Harihi, Harihi Om Tats Jaya Guru. Shuddho Buddho Vimukta Sudishikara Giram Mukhyatat Paryabhumi Yasmad Jatam Samastam Jagadidam Amrtat Vyapya Sarvam Sthido Yaha Yasyam Sham Shavatarai Suranaravanajai Rakshidam Sarvametat Tam Bhumanam Mukundam Hridigatamamalam Krishnameva Prapadye Tam Bhumanam Mukundam Hridigatamamalam Krishnameva Prapadye Madhya Hridayakashe Sadanandamayo Guru Udetu Satatam Samyak Swahatmananda Prabodhakaha Harihi, Harihi, Harihi Om Tatsat Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru. We shall have 3 times the joint recitation of Omkara as usual. Interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. Sit comfortably erect without causing any strain. Close your eyes. Open the mouth and heart and join me. Specifically, think that our joint recitation should spread over the entire earth, showering its benedictions on all creatures inhabiting the earth. Do it better. I would like you to recite one sloka. Most of you know it. I shall recite, you follow me. Karpanya dosho bahata swabhavaha.
Karpanya dosho bahata swabhavaha.
Karpanya dosho bahata swabhavaha.
Karpanya dosho bahata swabhavaha.
Pritchami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha.
Dharma sammudha chetaha.
Yachreyasyat Nishchitam bruhi tanme.
Nishchitam bruhi tanme.
Shishyasteham
Shadhimam Tvam prapannam Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam prapannam.
Today I thought I would speak something very special about Bhagavad Gita, particularly its beginning. I certainly have spoken on these subjects, but I don't know how many of you have heard me. Now today, the reason why I selected Bhagavad Gita itself for our discussion is that at least you should know one text. And it is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita itself is not a very short text. It contains 700 verses. It is quite long. If you want to read Bhagavad Gita in one sitting, it will take about 2.5 to 3 hours. Fast reading. You know that I had taken a point and explained it very well. Our global Bhagavad Gita convention began on this note. Bhagavad Gita is not a religious text. It is a historic narration. Whatever took place in the battlefield of Kurukshetra before the actual war began, that portion is contained in Bhagavad Gita. Mahabharata is a huge writing. We have 2 epics. The first one is Ramayana, consisting of 24,000 Sanskrit verses. Mahabharata is the second large epic, perhaps the biggest anywhere in the world. And that contains 125,000 Sanskrit verses, out of which Bhagavad Gita consists of only 700. If there is no Mahabharata, there will be no Bhagavad Gita. But without Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata can still be. What is Mahabharata? Mahabharata is a narration of the decline and fall of Kuru dynasty. Hastinapura was the capital of Kuru dynasty. They ruled India for long. Another dynasty that ruled India was Ikshvaku dynasty. The Ikshvaku dynasty is the one where Rama, Dasharatha, etc. were born. That was in Treta Yuga. Now Treta Yuga was over. Dwapara Yuga. And we have come to the end point of Dwapara Yuga. From here, if you calculate, it is more than 5,000 years ago. This Mahabharata was written, Kurukshetra was where war was fought, everything took place at that time. Now if Bhagavad Gita is a narration of whatever transpired in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, can it be a religious text? Answer me. No. Huh? No. And what is the Bhagavad Gita? In which manner is it present before us? The first verse of Bhagavad Gita is Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveda Yuyutsavaha Mamagaha Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Of the 700 verses that Bhagavad Gita has, this verse is an enquiry from the blind king Dhritarashtra to Sanjaya. The Bhagavad Gita that we have before us is a dialogue between the blind king Dhritarashtra and the trusted narrator Sanjaya. Sanjaya is narrating all about the Mahabharata war to the blind king Dhritarashtra. How did it happen? Bhagavad Gita appears from chapter 25 to 42 of Bhishma Parva of Mahabharata. 25 to 42. You read Bhagavad Gita as chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. That is different. It is actually from 25th to 42nd. At the beginning of the Bhishma Parva, Vyasadeva describes that after all this Kuru dynasty, it is Vedavyasa's children. Pandu, Dhritarashtra and Vidura were Vyasadeva's children themselves. At the request of as an emergency measure, Vyasadeva was requested to impregnate the Kuru dynasty women because their husbands died. They did not have children. Vyasadeva initially refused. Finally, when the mother prevailed upon him saying, I am the mother, you are my son, and mother is the greatest guru. You are bound to listen to me and heed my advice, request. Finally, he agreed. He stipulated a condition that was not heeded at all. Everything was in a hurry. And one was a blind king, Pandu had some other defect, Vidura alone was very wise, intelligent and normal. These are all by the way. Vedavyasa decided to go to Hastinapura because the war was impending. He went to the blind king. Dhritarashtra said, I am Vyasadeva, I have come. The eventful Mahabharata war, unprecedented, is going to be fought. It's an unprecedented war. 4.5 million warriors had assembled in Kurukshetra. 4.5 million warriors. Can you imagine? If you want to see the actual incidents of the war, I shall give you a special spiritual vision, a divine vision. You know what Dhritarashtra said, the blind king? No, I don't want. I know what is going to happen in this war. My sons are wicked. They will not flourish, they will have to fall. Which father would like his children, would like to see his children fall one after the other? So I am not interested. Then Vedavyasa thought, what can be done as a substitute? So he gifted Sanjaya with a divine power, by virtue of which Sanjaya could move about freely in the battlefield, unseen by anybody. He had the power to see whatever was taking place openly and also to understand whatever was taking place in the war camps unseen. With such a power, Sanjaya started narration. You know, those were days of scholarly narration. So he started narrating the greatness of this Indian subcontinent, the geographical description of it, the important rivers and holy places, mountains and the other things. When the narration was in progress, suddenly the war started in Kurukshetra. So he stopped the narration and straightaway ran to the scene of the war. Seeing the war, listening to what was going on in different places between people, he remained there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days had passed. On the 10th day, hit by Arjuna's arrows, the great Bhishma fell from the chariot. Now this was a sight which Sanjaya himself could not forbear at all. Nobody could expect the great grandfather, the invincible hero, a great knower of truth, a very stable man, an embodiment of stability and poise. How could he be de-seated, made to fall from the chariot? So he could not contain his own mind. So he immediately rushed to the blind king Dhritarashtra and said, Sanjayoham Maharaja. I am Sanjaya, O Maharaja. I have come here to report to you that the great grandfather has fallen from the chariot, hit by Arjuna's arrows. Are you with me? Huh? Yes. I am speaking to you about Bhagavad Gita, actual Gita. Then Dhritarashtra comes up with his reactions. Those reactions are very, very strange and very important. I thought I would narrate to you some of those verses. Artim paramavishati manashamsasi mehadam yasya viryam samashritya mama putro brihadbalaha na pandavan aganayad katham sanihatah parai. Do you have the power of imagination? You should be with me in the Kurukshetra battlefield. Something has happened. Sanjaya rushes and he reports. And instantly Dhritarashtra responds, Artim parama vishadi manas shamsasi me hadam. What are you telling me? That the unconquerable, invincible hero who is endowed with a lot of spiritual power also, all of them are of no use. He has fallen from the chariot. Yasya viryam samashritriya mama putro brihadbalaha na pandavan aganayad katham sanihatah parai. My son thought of fighting Pandavas only depending upon the greatness and invincibility of the grandfather. He did not regard the Pandavas at all as anybody, as no force at all. That great man has fallen. Proktam parayanam prajnam swadharma niratam shujim veda vedanga tattvajnam katham shamsasi mehadam. What is it that you are reporting to me? This Bhishma is proktam parayanam prajnam swadharma niratam shujim. He is an embodiment of dharma, ethics. He will never do anything improperly. So he is reinforced by propriety, by ethics. He has spiritual brilliance. He is invincible when he has taken the bow and the arrow. He will kill thousands of warriors a day. Such a person, how do you report to me that he has fallen? I can only say, Dharma dadharmo belavan samprapa iti me madihi yatra vruddham gurum hatva rajyamichandi pandavaha. What are you telling me? Arjuna's arrows hit the grandfather, and hit by Arjuna, he has fallen. What is this? I am unable to believe. I have no faith in my own mind, my own intelligence. Dharma adharmo belavan. I feel that adharma has become more powerful than dharma. Impropriety has become more powerful than propriety. Ethics has no value. Non-ethics and disorder, they are on triumphant now. Yatra vruddham gurum hatva rajyam ichchandi pandavaha. What is this? The Pandava brothers, they want to regain the kingdom after killing their grandfather? What is this? He goes on to say, if some adharma is done by my sons, I can still understand it and bear it. But Pandavas doing this crime, I cannot think of it at all. Do you understand the point? Then at one point he says, what? There was no doubt. There was no question. There was no discussion about such a cruelty having to be perpetrated. And it is Arjuna who has done it. They are given to dharma, ethics. Such ethics, adhering people, they have inflicted this torture. How can I understand it? How can I accept it? Could Arjuna do it all of a sudden? He did not have any doubt or fear about it. What is this? I am not able to believe. Certainly some discussion must have taken place there before perpetrating this crime, incredible. Who was there to discuss? Krishna was there. Krishna was the charioteer of Arjuna. Arjuna certainly would have been confronted by moral and ethical questions in the matter. He could not have sent arrows at his own grandfather, for whom he had only regard, and for Arjuna, the grandfather had only maximum fondness and affinity. So I cannot believe. So I would like to know what happened in the battlefield. You should narrate everything to me in due order. Don't leave any detail. I want to know clearly what all transpired in the battlefield. This is the first sloka. Dharmakshetre kurukshetre samaveda yuyutsavaha mamagaha pandavaschaiva kimagurvata Sanjaya. You know what is the meaning of this verse? In the Kurukshetra battlefield, which has got the fame of Dharmakshetra, it is a field of righteousness. Their ancestor, Kuru by name, had performed long austerity in that land. And the whole atmosphere is pure, austere and sublime. And that Dharmakshetra did not have its influence. They have assembled in such a place. So the dharmic influence of Kurukshetra cannot be set aside at all. It did not have its pulsation, its inspiration, its persuasion, its compulsion. What happened? I would like to know all in detail, he says. And the sloka literally means Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samveda Yuyutsavaha Mamagaha Pandavaschaiva Kimagurvata Sanjaya. In the Kurukshetra, which carries the austere vibrations of tapasya, austerity there. It is there that both parties have assembled. Who are they? Mamagaha Pandavaschaiva. My own sons as well as the sons of Pandu, Kimagurvata. What did they do? How long should I stop? See, the enquiry is, what did they do in the battlefield? Having come there with a specific resolve to fight, Yuyutsavaha. Normally the people who have come to the battlefield with a resolve to fight, what will they do? They will fight. But I want to know, before fighting, what did they do? Normally this sloka is interpreted in this manner. Kurukshetra has a lot of dharmic influence. Yudhishthira is always given to dharma. So after coming to the Dharmakshetra Kurukshetra, did Yudhishthira have a spurt in his dharmic sense? And did he think of abandoning the war? This is the interpretation invariably given to this sloka. But actually, this conversation took place on the 10th day of the war. So there is no question of whether the war was there or not. 9 days had already passed. It was on the 10th day. So his question was very specific. I want to know whether before war something other than war took place. Was there any discussion about the propriety of having to fight the grandfather? It's after all not easy at all. So narrate to me everything. Then Sanjaya goes on narrating. If I start reading, it will take a long time. Drishtva tu Pandavanigam vyudham duryodhanastada acharyam upasangamya rajavachanam abbravid. These are all in Bhagavad Gita, whatever I am reciting now. Duryodhana was there, standing on his side. Bhishma was the commander-in-chief. Drona was by his side. He looked at the Pandava army. They were smaller, and his army was more than 1.5 times the Pandavas' army. In spite of it, Drishtva tu Pandavanigam vyudham duryodhanastada. The Pandava army is well arrayed. Seeing the army, Duryodhana goes to his teacher, Dronacharya, and started speaking. When a person goes to the teacher, what will he do? He will go, register his prostration, humility, etc. And then if he has a proposal, he will propose. If he has a doubt, he will submit the doubt and seek clarity. Here what Duryodhana did was, he describes the huge army and finally starts ordering Drona. See who all have assembled there. And Drishtadyumna is the leader. You know he has come here with the resolve to kill you. Now he has arrayed the Pandava army. Like that he went on saying many things. When Duryodhana was speaking like this, Bhishma was unable to tolerate it. This is not the way a disciple should behave in front of a guru. Now think for a moment. Where was the war being fought? Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre. It was not merely a battlefield. It was a field for austerity, for penance. It was a field of penance. That field of penance had its dominant influence. And it made Duryodhana misbehave in this manner. So far as Duryodhana was concerned, the dharmic Kurukshetra enhanced his unrighteousness. It equally enhanced the Pandavas' righteousness. That distinct note was always there. Now what to do? Bhishma decided that I should stop him. So to stop him, the best was Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham Kuru Vrdha Pitamaha Simhanadam Vinadyochaihi Shankham Dadmau Pradhabavan. So he raised a lion's roar and then blew his conch. That means the war should start. Therefore, Duryodhana had no occasion to speak further. Then all of them started playing whatever they had, not merely the conches, but all the other things. Saghosho Dhritarashtranam Hridayani Vyadarayat Nabhascha Prithivim Chaiva Tumulo Vyanunadayan. Sanjaya is narrating. He says, that sound was very huge, tumultuous sound, but it did not have any effect on the Pandava army. I don't know whether you are listening and you are interested in listening. See? It had no effect. Everybody shouted. Athavyavasthitan drishtva Dhartarashtran kapidvajaha pravritte shastra sampade dhanurudyamya Pandavaha. While Duryodhana did all this and Bhishma started, then what happened? Sri Krishna blew his Panchajanya. You know, Krishna had come to the battlefield with a resolve that I shall not fight or wield any weapon. I will be present. That is why Arjuna asked him to be a charioteer, so that he had only to drive the horses. So normally he was not supposed to participate in this war at all. Breaking that trend, he blew his conch. Then all the others blew their conches. And I am not going into details. The names of all those conches, Pandavas' conches, are given. All the names are very beautiful and divine. So they blew everything in a very orderly manner. That sound was so powerful and great that it shook the hearts and minds of the Duryodhana army, says Sanjaya. Actually, Dhritarashtra was the commander-in-chief. When Bhishma blew the conch, Dhritarashtra felt, I am nobody to respond to him. So there was a crisis. That crisis Krishna did not allow. He blew the conch himself. So it was primarily a conch blowing. And that sound itself shook the hearts and minds of the Duryodhana army. Now everything is ready now. Only the discharge of arrows was left. At that time, Arjuna told Krishna, Senayor ubhayor madhye ratham sthavayamechyuda. He lifted his Gandiva and said, for the first time he got an opportunity to order the charioteer. In a chariot, the master of the chariot has the supreme place, and the charioteer has to obey whatever he says. So Arjuna gave the first tall order to Krishna. Drive my chariot afront. Station it in a particular spot so that I can survey both the armies and decide upon my strategy. Krishna did not take any time at all. Arjuna wanted to examine the army, but Krishna had apparently in his mind something more and different. Whatever that be, Krishna instantly drove the chariot and stopped the chariot right in front of Bhishma, Drona and the others. Bhishma was the commander-in-chief. Drona was by his side, the would-be commander next. And then told Arjuna, Bhishma Drona Pramukhadaha Sarvesham cha Mahikshidam Uvaja Partha Pashyedan Samavedan Kurunidhi. Arjuna, Bhishma Drona Pramukhadaha. I have stopped the chariot. Here is standing Bhishma, the commander-in-chief. By his side is your teacher Drona. Then Kripacharya and the others also are there. Now look at the army which you are going to fight and wanting to conquer. First to encounter is Bhishma, your grandfather. Generally, the moment you see your grandfather, you fall at his feet and beg for his blessings. Drona is the one from whom you have learned all the archery skill. They are the people standing in front. Without confronting them, you cannot go. Krishna had in his mind, Arjuna was a heroic fighter, an illustrious fighter. His body was a very powerful body, strong body. He had Gandiva, the powerful bow also. Pashupadastra also he had acquired. All these he had acquired, but he has a hollowness in his heart. He doesn't know anything about what is inside the body and what is the I which it is referring to. As long as this hollowness is in him, Arjuna cannot be a full person. So he was waiting for an opportunity to fill this hollowness and make Arjuna full. But he could not get an opportunity. Now Arjuna voluntarily gave him the opportunity by asking him to drive the chariot and station it in a suitable point. Arjuna's intention was to examine the army. Krishna's intention was to make Arjuna examine the army in such a manner that Arjuna would be exposed to his hollowness. Are you following me? Huh? When the chariot stopped and Krishna told him these words, he started looking at all the people who were present there. He found his own relatives, kith and kin. Many respectable elders on both sides were kith and kin. Kripaya paraya vishto vishidanidam abravid. He was suddenly overpowered by sympathy. Overpowered by sympathy, he started sorrowing, weeping, shedding tears. Drishtvaemam swajanam Krishna yujutsum samupasthidam sidandi mamagatrani mukham cha parishusyati vepaduscha sharire me romaharshascha jayade gandivam sramsade hastat tvakchaiva paridehyade nacha shaknomyavasthadum brahmadiva cha me manah. I am reading all this only with one intention. To make you understand that this Bhagavad Gita is not a religious gospel. In the midst of war, where is the occasion to speak about religion? Religion means something relating to God. There are so many temples, churches, mosques, etc. All these have something to do with religion. But this is in a battlefield. And when was the talk? When was the dialogue? When did it take place? When the war cries had been raised by both parties and only the discharge of arrows was waiting. At that point, this dialogue took place. How can such a warfield dialogue be considered a religious conversation? The subject discussed was not religion. The subject of discussion was fighting. Whether fight should be done or not. Arjuna says, how can I do it? By what inspiration, insight, vision or otherwise can I take up this fight? You have stationed my chariot right in front of my grandfather and teacher. So Arjuna, Kripaya Pareya Vishto, overpowered by sympathy, he started speaking. What all did he say? My whole body is trembling. I am suffering from horripilation everywhere. My Gandiva which I am holding, it is slipping from my hand like this. I am not able to hold it. My mind is whirling. My intelligence is telling me not to fight. This is a very sinful war. Now what am I left with, my dear Krishna? I have my body, powerful body. Then I have the Gandiva, my bow. I have a mind also. I am a person who has done austerity, foregoing sleep. He has got a name Gudakeshaha, conqueror of sleep. Then I also have a sharp intelligence. All of them are ranged against me now. What is there left aside? Arjuna did not know anything about the soul at all. The soul is beyond the intelligence, beyond the mind, beyond the body and senses. But he had no insight about it. And Arjuna went on speaking quite a lot. Many of you may not know. You should read the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Instantly Arjuna says, I am seeing all bad omens all around. Na kangshe vijayam Krishna, na cha rajyam sukhani cha, kim me kinno rajyena govinda, kim bhogair jividena va. He started speaking with dejection. I don't want victory in the war. I don't want to regain the kingdom. Of what use is the kingdom? What use is life even? For whose sake we have come here to fight? All those people are standing before me. Killing all these relatives. Can anyone be happy in this world? I don't want to kill them. I don't want to kill anybody. He goes on, you see, it is a long conversation. The first portion is Arjuna presenting a number of arguments before Krishna, by virtue of which Krishna would feel that what he says is right. If this war is to be fought, then all of us will have to be in the hell for an indefinite period. But Mahabharata war was fought and nobody went to hell. And finally he says, I am going to stand here in this battlefield, unarmed. I would not use any weapon at all. Yadimam apradigaram ashastram shastrapanayah Dhritarashtra renayhanyuh tanme kshemataram bhaved. I am not going to defend myself at all, not to speak of offense. Suppose I stay there without having any defense. If the arrows from the opponents come and hit me and I fall dead, that will be shreyas for me, he says. Tanme kshemataram bhaved. I am wondering what is the type of reaction that you have when I say all this. We are discussing Bhagavad Gita. It is not outside. It is within Bhagavad Gita. Then Sanjaya now says, Eva muktva Arjuna sankhe rathopastha upavishad visarjya sacharam jabam shokasam vigramanasaha. Having spoken to Krishna in this manner, unable to stand, he left his bow and arrow and sat on the chariot. A scene that was unprecedented. No heroic fighter had ever thrown away his bow and arrow and sat on the chariot unable to stand. For the first time Arjuna did it. You know what Krishna did? It is something that you have to understand. Psychologists will have to analyze Bhagavad Gita and find out. Immediately what Krishna was saying was, Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samubhastidam anarya justam aswargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. Krishna admonished him. Kutastva kashmalamidam. Actually, this is a sloka which is applicable to all people who are sorrowing in this world. Whenever you are grieving beyond measure, You should think about why are you grieving? Nothing else is there for you to do. When shall we grieve? Do you know anything about your mind? Is the mind like the body, limited? What is the power of the mind, potential of the mind? What is the measure and magnitude and majesty of the mind? We are only born to grieve? What is this? An animal may grieve, but not a man unduly. We have the intelligence. We have a powerful and sharp intelligence. Problems are all mind-born. Solutions are delivered by the intelligence. We should be thoughtful. We should be reasonable, rational. We should probe into situations and find out what are really the problems. There is nothing which cannot be resolved. Everything can be resolved. If we cannot resolve a problem, we will at least dissolve the problem. Remain unaffected. Krishna said, this is not sympathy. This is unmanliness. Where from did you pick it up? And that too at this wonderful point of the war? Were you not in the forest for 12 years? Could you not have thought about the possibilities? You know that Bhishma was always standing on the side in Hastinapura. When the Hastinapura is going to be attacked, naturally he will be in the forefront. Is it something unexpected? Bhishma and Drona are right in your front. You are grieving and they are remaining unmoved. So you can go to them and ask them, why are you unmoved? And why am I getting trouble? Instead of doing all these things, you are simply bewailing, mourning. So in an admonishing manner he spoke. Tyaktvottishta parandava. Cast aside all this gloom. Anarya justam, asvargyam, agirtikaram Arjuna. He said, this is not something that is approved by noble and great and thoughtful people. It will not lead you anywhere good. So cast it aside and get up. After all, Krishna was very dear to him. He was a beloved friend. When Krishna spoke like this, he had to heed. So he heeded. He said, I will not speak a single word about sympathy, about my people, having to kill them, etc. But the question is, you have stationed the chariot right in front of Bhishma and Drona. Bhishma is my grandfather. He had put me on his lap and given me morsels of food in my young days. I had no father. Drona is the one from whom I have imbibed all the archery skill, and I have to use my sharp arrows against my teacher. Krishna, will a human mind allow it? Can the intelligence approve of such an action? Reckless action? Katham Bhishma maham sankhye dronam cha madhusudana ishubhi pratiyotsyami pujarha varisudana. Bhishma and Drona are such noble, great people. The moment I see them, I should worship them with flowers. Instead of that, I have to discharge sharp arrows at their bodies. Is it possible? How? You say I should fight. Yes, I shall fight. But how? Arjuna started thinking, but he could not find an answer. This is how he submits. Karpanya dosho bhata swabhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yat shreyasyan nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prabannam. The more Arjuna thought, the more confounded he became. So he says, I am suffering from narrow-mindedness, my dear Krishna. I am unable to see clarity. I am overpowered by karpanya dosha. I am beseeching you, dharma sammudha chedaha. My mind and intelligence are deluded, thinking about the lines of propriety to be adopted. So tell me precisely, in a clear-cut manner, where lies my felicity, Shreyas. I am your disciple, not a brother-in-law. You are my teacher. I anoint you as my teacher, and I assume the position of your disciple. Instruct me as a teacher would his student. This is what he said. Now tell me, whether this Bhagavad Gita, is it a religious text? What is the occasion? What is the place? It is warfield and fight. Arjuna has come here with 13 years of preparation to fight. After having come, he crumbles. That crumbling has to be redressed. And Arjuna should be enabled and empowered to take the bow and arrow back and fight. This was the object of the Gita dialogue. Can it be religious? Perhaps I am the only person who says this. The reason I wrote that insight into Bhagavad Gita is, I wanted to have a summit held in New Delhi, where I thought we would invite at least 25 country heads. So whenever we were going and presenting to them the cause, something should be given. So I wrote that book. We have named Bhagavad Gita as administrative treasure trove. That is the description we have given. The ordinary people of any country cannot fight, and they are neither empowered to fight, nor do they have the means to fight. Fighting is public administration. Under public administration, only a government can fight. Because it is a dialogue that transpired in the battlefield, meant to empower, enlighten, enable Arjuna to fight the war and win the cause of ethics, morality, righteousness. I think it is meant for all public administrators in the world. So I thought we will gift this Bhagavad Gita to the entire world. But somehow the COVID came and we could not proceed in the manner in which we wanted. Now I don't know whether it will ever be possible. Arjuna did not stop there. He added one more verse. Many people do not read it and understand it. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyat yachogam uchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhuma vasapadamruddham rajyam suranam api chadhipatyam. My dear Krishna, you should understand my plight. Grief is in the mind. But the grief I suffer from in my mind is so powerful that it is burning my senses, scorching my senses. I am unable to bear. Don't tell me anything like, somehow Arjuna you fight. If you win, you get the kingdom. If you lose, you go to heavens. These are remote possibilities. And that too resulting from my participation in the war. But I cannot participate. I am being scorched by grief. If you have anything to cool and comfort me, tell me. Otherwise, don't open your mouth. Don't point out possibilities like getting heaven or regaining the kingdom. I don't want to hear anything. Can you cool me and comfort me? then I shall be able to take my bow and arrow. This is where he stops. Now you tell me very clearly, what is the object of the dialogue, purpose of the dialogue? It is redressing the overpowering grief of the mind. Am I clear? Huh? Huh? Where did it take place? In the battlefield. After war cries were raised, before commencing the discharge of arrows, and it was aimed at Arjuna. Enable him, empower him, enlighten him to take back his bow and arrow and fulfill the task and the mission for which he had come there. Krishna did not add anything new to Arjuna. He only enlightened him. And the manner in which he enlightened is very, very significant. What did he say, Arjuna? I am suffering from overpowering grief. So Krishna was analyzing grief itself. The entire Bhagavad Gita is aimed at redressing the grief. Again redressing the doubt, the ignorance, the delusion. This was the purpose. You tell me, grief, doubt, ignorance and delusion, are they not common confrontations of the human mind anywhere, anytime? Why are you keeping quiet? Huh? The human mind has not changed after 5,000 years. We are still the same biological body with the psychological mind and the rational intelligence. No change at all. For Arjuna, it was a physical fight. For all the others, it is a fighting life itself. The confrontations of the mind, the delusion of the mind, the grief of the mind, the ignorance of the intelligence, oscillation of the intelligence, lack of stability, poise and harmony. This is what we are suffering from. Therefore, the Bhagavad Gita remains ever relevant, anywhere, anytime in the world. Now, my intention is to pick up individual verses from here and there and tell you that this is how you have to look at Bhagavad Gita and apply it to your life. Tamuvaja Hrishikeshaha prahasanniva bharata senayorupayor madhye vishidantamidam vachaha. Sanjaya gives a beautiful picture. What does he say? Krishna went on speaking to Arjuna. And he describes Arjuna as what? Krishna himself was Prahasannima Bharata. While Arjuna was shedding grief, Sri Krishna was smiling. What does it mean? Sri Krishna was happy that he got the opportunity to instill into Arjuna the right spiritual wisdom which he was lacking all along. He only had Pashupadaastra and Gandiva. With both, he is now debilitated, he is weakened, enfeebled. So what is going to give you real courage, real stability, real valor and heroism? They are not mere mental and intellectual products. Our Upanishads will say, Atmana vindade viryam, vidyaya vindade amrudam. Atmana vindade viryam. A man will get real courage, fortitude only from the self. Are you following me? I don't think. Huh? Can money give you courage? Wealth give you courage? Can physical might present you with courage? It has to come from a deeper level. Atmana vindade viryam. It comes from the immortal, imperishable, everlasting self. I carry within my body something imperishable. You may beat me, kill my neck, but the I in me is unslayable. We should understand it. So, tamuvacha hrishikeshaha prahasanniva bharata senayor ubhayor madhye vishidantamidam vacha. Between the two armies, Arjuna sat sorrowing, weeping. And this took place in the midst of the two armies. Only horses were there with him. Arjuna sat on the chariot. Krishna looked back, holding the reins of the horses in his hand. Ashochyananvashojastvam. This is the one lasting message of Bhagavad Gita. Can you grasp it? Ashochyananvashojastvam. We are not born here to grieve. We are born here to redress our grief. Grief is a part of our life. We have only two things, grief and joy. One follows the other, succeeds the other. Either both are there or one alone can never be. What is there in sorrowing? We are encountering grief and joy almost every day. In your dialogue and conversations that take place in your homestead, don't you think every day there is occasion for some grief or the other? Some unpleasantness or the other? Even between partners it happens. Ashochyananvashojastvam. Ashochyananvashojastvam. You are grieving over Bhishma and Drona. And look, they are not grieving. And you are grieving. What is it? They are standing there with poise and harmony, and their presence is an open permission for you to fight. If you have a doubt, you go and ask them. Ashochyananvashojastvam. But you are advising me. If we fight this war, we will go to hell. Which hell? Has anybody seen hell at all? Is it not something that we are concocting? Hell? Everywhere we want experience, direct proof. But for the hell, no proof. For the heaven, no proof. Nobody wants any proof. Why? You will have it after your death. We want everything before death to be experienced here and now. But when it comes to heaven and hell, it is after death, so that nobody can ask any question about it. Our Shastras are also very clever. They will say, do all these things, and when will you be rewarded? After death. Anybody can say anything? Has anybody come before us to say, I died on such and such a day, and I am here now? Has anybody come to say, I died? Nobody has experienced death. Nobody has died. The body has become breathless, that's all. Ashocyananvashojastvam prajnavadamscha bhashase gadasoon agadasoomscha nanushochanti pandidaha. You spoke like a scholar, but Arjuna, correct yourself. The really wise man, he will not grieve over either the dead or the living. There are only two categories of people. People who have died and the others are to be dying. Either people have died or others are. People always will come and say, today is my birthday. When were you born? On such and such a day. Will it repeat? So every birthday is a birth distancing day and death approaching day. Is it not? Huh? Are you not ashamed to say, today is my birthday? There are bodies from which the life forces have departed. There are bodies in which they have not yet departed, they are proceeding towards that end. So any born child is moving towards death, not moving towards birth. What do you have to say? Hardcore rationality, reason, logic. Ashocyananvashojastvam gatasoona gatasoomscha nanusochanti panditaha. The really wise people will not be deluded with regard to death. They will not grieve over either the dead or the living. Suppose you are grieving over the dead. Oh, they have gone. And what about the people who are living? They will go. They have gone. If you grieve, who will go? You should grieve about them also. Because you will go. See, just see how caustically he speaks. This is Hinduism. This is our culture. We have no death. We only have life. Existence never changes at all. What is he saying in the next verse? Natvevaham jadunasam natvam neme janadhipaha najaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. Arjuna, understand. You feel that I was born of Devaki, bred by Yashoda. Correct yourself. My body was born. I was not born. Natvevaham jadunasam. There was no time when I was not. Is it applicable only to me? No. Natvam. The same is the truth about you, about Bhishma, Drona and the others as well. There was no time when I was not, you were not, Bhishma, Drona and the others were not. There is not going to be a time when we shall not be. I don't know whether you hear me well. This is true of everyone. What Devaki delivered was a body. The I in the body was not delivered by anybody. It was always existing. Suppose it was not existing, can it exist now? See, all of you have come and you are seated in this hall. If you are not present earlier, would you be present here? Huh? Can anything absent be ever present? And can presence become absent? Think. If anything exists, it continues to exist. Exist. It cannot become non-existent. So if you are alive now, you were present earlier. Having been present, now also being present, you will also be present. So take away from your mind the idea of death, the idea of absence, the idea of non-existence. That is why the I remains changeless within our body. It has no yesterday and today. It has no birth and death. It has no previous life and future life. Natvevaham jadunasam natvam neme janadhipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. What an assurance is this? So in the Mahabharata war, by fighting the war, are you going to put existence into non-existence? Are you going to slay the souls of people? Which country will ask like this? And this happened 5,000 years ago in Kurukshetra. The confronted Arjuna was questioned by Krishna and he was asked to respond. And Arjuna said, yes, I have understood. I shall no more grieve. I shall fight not one, but a score of Mahabharata wars. Because the delusion was cleared, the doubt was dispelled, the questions were dissolved, the mortality disappeared, and immortality began to be splendorous. All are changes in the mind and the intelligence, not in the body. What do you say? This is Bhagavad Gita. Now here, these two verses, Ashocyan Anvashocastvam, then Natvevaham Jadunasam. These are independent verses giving you the message fully. There is no reference to God or soul here. We shall stop. From tomorrow, I will pick out very specific verses, each of which is in a way complete. Samvedya varjidamanuttamameghamadyam samvidpadam vikalanam kalayan mahatman hridyeva tishta kalanarahita kriyam tu kurvan agartrapadamethya samodidashri kurvan agartrapadamethya samodidashri. Harihi, Harihi, Harihi Om Tats. We shall have a conclusional Omkara in the same manner in which we had it 3 times earlier. Now only once. Then we shall disperse. Take your pose. Harihi Om. Jai Guru. Jai Guru.